what you're doing over
right?
there.
I mean,
fucking Sesame Street.
Everyone chill out.
Yeah, well, on that note, we'll be right back. Hey, podcast listeners, Joe C. here. Are you digging all the music talk and want to see what my band, The Fallen Electric, has in store? Check us out at thefallenelectric.com for all news, show dates, and contact information. Also, be sure to listen to our album, Never Seen the World, available on all digital music stores and streaming apps. It's time to get electrified.
Let's just go and waste some time. What was recreated?
And we're back.
Getting off on your own commercial over there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, dude. I hope I didn't spray it too hard.
Should always wear rubber underwear. We talked about this, man.
Too
many incidents.
Yes. You've been watching too much Bert and Ernie's, what you mean?
Quiet, you.
All right, man. Well, you got some sports news for us today.
Of course.
All right. The sports with Josh.
What up, everybody?
Hi, Josh.
All right, guys. So everyone knows football is running full steam ahead right now.
Sure.
Coming up on our third week, and you know what? Not too often you see people retiring this early in the league.
Yeah.
You know, especially in a season, most people retire halfway, a little further. But you don't see many people retiring at halftime.
Halftime?
Yeah, I heard about this,
At
man.
halftime.
So what the fuck happened with this cat?
So this actually happened. The Bills were in town playing the San Diego, or excuse me, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
And they were getting their asses kicked.
The Bills were?
The Bills were.
Okay.
They're a terrible team. They were down 28-6 at the half.
Jesus.
And their defense had just been shut out recently, the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So they had lost. No, actually, they weren't shut out. They lost 48-3. The week
Damn.
before. Yeah.
Playoffs?
Yeah, oh no. Definitely not. Actually, so at halftime, one of their cornerbacks, 10-year vet, Mr. Vontae Davis, he quit at halftime. So the team went in, and reports came out that at the second half, a lot of players, on the defense were like, "Where's Vontae? Where'd he go?" And some staffers was like, "He left." They're like, "What do you mean he left?" He said, "I quit. I'm retiring," and he left. And so he didn't. And this came from a linebacker by the name of Lorenzo Alexander, who they were interviewing after post game, and he said, never have seen it ever. Pop Warner, high school, college, pros, never heard of it, never seen it, and it's just completely disrespectful to his teammates. He didn't say nothing to nobody. I found out going into the second half of the game, they said he's not coming out. He retired. That's it.
Damn.
That's it. And so
That's crazy,
that's all
dude.
anyone knew. Like, no one knew what was going on. Like, dude, what happened to Vontae Davis? Is he okay?
Didn't at some point I heard that he was just telling the coaches, "Hey, I'm not feeling myself right now," or something like that?
He did. Before the end of the first half, he told them, "You know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it." So, he warned them that he wasn't feeling right, but he just up and left. He didn't even tell the coaches he retired. He just up and left. So that's why everyone was like, "What's going on?" And so then a little later, Davis released a statement, on social media. Mm-hmm. He said, "This isn't how I pictured retiring from the NFL, but in my 10th NFL season, I have been doing what my body has been programmed to do, get ready to play on game day. I've endured multiple surgeries and played through many different injuries throughout my career, and over the last few weeks, this was the latest physical challenge. But today, on the field, really hit me fast and hard. I shouldn't be out there anymore. I meant no disrespect to my teammates and coaches.
How?
But I hold myself to a standard. Mentally, I always expect myself to play at a high level, but physically, I know today that isn't possible.
I think that makes him a drama queen, if you ask me.
Oh,
because
yeah.
he could have easily said, "Coach, like after that, like I don't want to go out there. I'll retire. I'll stay on. I'll root for the team as I'm out of here."
Yeah, exactly.
He could have done something else.
He could have just been like, you know what, just take me out of the game. Let me sit on the sidelines. I can't play. I'm a danger to you guys.
Right, but then he just
But
up and
he just up and
disappears.
disappeared.
He deserted them.
And he goes on to explain why, he had been thinking about the decision before the season started. And okay, that's fine. I understand that. You know what? People, there's a thing called CTE where, a lot of these guys aren't going to feel themselves after, especially 10 years in the NFL,
Right. Yeah.
nothing but hits. That makes sense. But don't go and, go out there with your teammates and make them think that you're going to go out there and battle with them and then just up and leave them. And so that's what's been going on in the league. Like, a lot of people in the league have been reacting to this. It's been nothing but negative reaction to this.
Yeah, dude, because like I don't buy any of his shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Seriously, thank you, Warren. I mean, dude, you shouldn't have played the game. He should have just been like, dude, I'm not going to play. He had recorded 2 tackles earlier in the game, by the way, too. Like, big tackles. And it just flabbergasted everyone. You don't ever see this. And sadly, this guy's going to be ostracized amongst his own community. Granted, you know what? He had a good reason for retiring. He wasn't in it, but he did it the wrong way.
Yeah,
He did it the wrong way,
totally.
man. It's like totally like you quitting your job and just being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool, and fuck you, I'm out. It's like, that's how I felt. That's how it felt, and I'm sure that's how it felt to his teammates.
yeah, totally.
Be a dick.
Exactly, Vontae Davis. And it's some more, going more into some NFL news. We all, some of us, not all, watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, or even watch the, when they announce who's going to be into the Hall. All one of us, man. All one of us. Yep.
Just you.
The army of one here. And most of the time, whenever they do these ceremonies and they, put the gold jackets on these guys, they bring out all the past Hall of Fame inductees. Everyone, they bring them out, and they're obligated to show up for these events. It's like an obligation. They have to show up for any Hall of Fame event or any type of NFL event.
Interesting.
Well, recently, a group of pro Hall of Famers announced that they will boycott the ceremony over salary and benefits. So what that means is that they're actually going to be boycotting all future Hall of Fame ceremonies until they can get health insurance and benefits, for retirees, like pensions, things like that. And the reason why they're saying this is that they already have something of this nature in the MLB. The MLB has a pension program where if you've played just one day in baseball, you get a lifetime of health insurance.
Does that count for? Do you know if it counts for a minor league?
Not
too?
minor leagues.
Okay,
It has to be major.
Okay,
So
got
if
it.
you,
That's just, I never heard of that before.
yeah, it's only in the major leagues, and they cited this in obviously in why one of the reasons why that there is a precedent for this, and so. According to what the MLB does, again, you can play one day or one game in the on an MLB roster, and you get lifetime of health insurance. If you play 43 days, or if you're at least on a team for about 43 days, you get a lifetime pension.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the pensions are usually like, I think, $2 million a year.
Christ.
A year?
Oh yeah, trust me, these are billion-dollar industries and corporations, so they can spare it. I'm sure they can definitely spare it, and they keep getting the influx of money in here. And then not only that, what's the kicker is that they also called out their own commissioner, and their own commissioner recently gave himself a raise. Before he was only making, I think, like $20 million a year.
Only
he bumped it up to about $20 million a year as an annual salary, and he has lifetime health insurance for his family.
Christ.
Yeah.
So they're straight up saying, we ain't gonna show up until we can get the same stuff that the MLB has. There's a precedent for it. You know what? So why not?
Yeah.
Let's do that. And these guys, I think these guys deserve it.
They need it because they go through torture every
Yes.
week. Not just the drills, but just the pounding. Every time they crash against each other.
You should get a
tackling.
pension too, there, babe.
Yeah.
Was that in the prenup?
Oh, right. You're good.
No, yeah, they get destroyed. Like, their bodies are destroyed. Like, like a lot of recent famous football players have been committing suicide. There was Junior Seau, linebacker for USC, the Chargers, Patriots. He committed suicide because of CTE symptoms. A lot of ex-football players that died of even normal heart complications, they donated their brains to science for CTE study. Yeah. So it's like these guys, they go through these battles and these huge impacts, and I think more than anything, these guys deserve something like that.
I was in a conference once, and we were talking about cardiovascular health and professional football players, and the actual lifespan because of heart conditions for football players is shorter than an average person. Yeah, because they go through so much abuse.
Yeah, I mean, right now the oldest football player alive is Jim Brown. Jim Brown's in his 80s, I think 90s. And
the announcer, the Jim Brown?
No, Jim Brown, the one from the one that was the running back on the Browns. He was in Mars Attacks. He was in he was in Shaft. He was in all those movies. Okay. If I show you a picture, you'll recognize him. Sure. But he's one of the oldest ones around, one of the legends that are still around. And majority of football players really only live to about 50 or 60, and then they're done.
Like pretty much once their career ends, then the lifespan after retiring, it's not very.
The majority of them too. Most of the time they gain about like 50 to 100 pounds of weight almost immediately after retiring.
Well, shit. Yeah, I mean, you're used to consuming all this food to keep the calorie count up because you're burning all that on the field.
So when you stop burning it, but you're still consuming the same amount of food.
You're still used to eating on a regimen like that.
Exactly. So it's tough. So I mean, these guys definitely deserve it.
Yeah, they need the health care.
And I do agree with this. I'm not saying I'm pro union or against it, but this is good. This is something that they put in the time. They deserve it.
Yeah.
That's not America. That's not even Mexico.
No, sir, it is not. It is not. Speaking of Mexico.
Yeah, man. Nice segue.
Mexico's Mexico's native son, Mr. Ginger Alvarez, or Canelo Alvarez, recently fought Mr. Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, in Vegas.
On the day before Mexican Independence Day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The more you know.
The more you know. Way to set up that.
Well, better late than never.
Raised, right?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
It's
a free show, everybody.
So, the match went the full 12 rounds. And what did you think of the match, Josie?
I was a little surprised that Canelo won. I thought that he was getting his ass kicked by Triple G. However, around, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I think around 10 or 11, Triple G started looking a little gassed.
He did. Yeah. He did. You know what? Triple G looked like he had the advantage for most of the fight. If it just felt like Canelo was like holding back when he, all week had been building up, like, I ain't holding back. I'm going to go all out. And it's just like, dude, what? You call six rounds of just chilling and getting the shit beat out of you every once in a while, like going all out. And Triple G did look gassed towards the end, and eventually they did.
Overall, though, I don't know. Like, I know the first time that they matched up, it ended up in a draw.
Correct.
I kind of saw a similar situation happening this time around.
I thought that was going to happen. Honestly, in all honesty, I thought it was going to happen.
I think it would have pissed a lot of people off, though,
dude.
Man. Yeah, that would have been the end of boxing. Every time some bullshit goes on like that in boxing, everybody proclaims, that's the end of boxing. That's it.
Well, a lot of people do that. Even now, they're just like, boxing's not the same anymore.
Well, it's not, though.
It's not.
It really isn't.
It isn't. It isn't.
Yeah.
It is
MMA has taken over that shit completely.
But even MMA now is kind of losing its luster a little. I mean, it was more of a novelty.
I think it's too much drama going on.
Yeah.
It's too much WWE bullshit. Like,
MMA with Conor. Yeah. But, I mean, boxing, before you'd get slugfest, like, Roberto Duran, fucking Cesar Chavez, fucking De La Hoya, these guys would just pound.
Pacquiao, dude.
Pacquiao.
Yeah, I think he brought the excitement back into boxing where it had been missing for quite some time.
And then his matches with Marquez,
dude.
The matches the last one especially, when he planked him, Pacquiao. That was the greatest.
That was awesome.
That was a sad day for the Philippines.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, in all honesty, that was like the last great fight I've seen. Like even like all these Mayweather fights, all that. Honestly, it's
Mayweather's all defense.
Yeah.
So it's boring to watch.
But that's what boxing's become now. Boxing has become mostly defense. Like if you saw the Canelo fight, it was Canelo was trying to play defense a little more than usual. And he was still being aggressive, but not how he should. So the result, obviously, it turned out Canelo Alvarez won. He won by decision. They scored card. Judge Glenn Feldman scored it 114 to 114. Judge Dave Moretti scored it 115 to 113.